Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hello there, fellow maker. Welcome to the shop. You've got Bill today, and I've got a special treat. You see, a while back, the folks at Smooth On flew me out to their headquarters in Macungie, Pennsylvania. While I was there, I got to film a bunch of other stuff with them. We did a molding and casting series with Milo, who is not only an upstanding gentleman and wonderful human being, but also a molding and casting expert. So we got to do that with them, but also I got to go on a factory tour. And I'm a bit of a factory nut. I got a soft spot in my heart for forklifts and conveyor belts, and boy, they did not disappoint. I had a ton of fun. Got to see how they make all the stuff. That's right, they manufacture all their products right in that huge factory in Pennsylvania. I got to check it all out. So, without further ado, here is my factory tour, Smooth On headquarters. Hey there, fellow maker. Bill here, not in my shop today. I'm in Macungie, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Here with Jason from Smooth On.
Hello.
I'm here because you guys are putting together a cosplay seminar, and I got to come check it out a little early and give some feedback. But since I'm here, anyway, I get to check out the factory. This is where you guys make all of your materials. They all come out of here.
Yeah, we'll take you through every inch of the place to show you how these things are made.
Amazing. This is such an inspiring place. What is it exactly you do here other than doing demos for bite wounds, which I got to do yesterday?
Yeah, that was fun. I'm actually the web marketing manager, but I'm also a material specialist. I've been here about 20 years, so I kind of have a handle on some things.
Mm-hmm. He sure does. Well, cool. We're going to go check out the factory, share a bit with you, as well as the Reynolds store they have attached, which is spectacular. So come along for the ride. This is the seminar room. This is where we've been spending most of the last 2 days going over the cosplay seminar, and it is a delightful room full of all kinds of inspirational work all over the walls, and all of these workstations set up here. You can see with all the buckets, the popcorn buckets. Is there a reason why it's popcorn buckets? Is it just because they're cheap or they look cool?
No, absolutely, because popcorn buckets have a lining on them which is kind of resistant to oil.
Oh.
And because we do use a lot of oil-based stuff,
there you
like
go.
Urethanes and stuff like that, they work really well for that. And they are cheap.
Mm-hmm, they are cheap. Awesome. Well, when I get home, I'm going to order a bunch myself.
Yeah, enjoy. All of these pieces on the wall are either made by one of our customers or made by one of the people in-house here. I've got a couple pieces on here that they hide away, but more of the high-profile stuff are made from our cast from our customers' molds, and they send them to us to mount on the wall and kind of give you some inspiration while you're taking our seminars.
I even see a District 9 rifle there that came out of my shop.
Absolutely. 3, 2, 1. So those are Maker Pro fluorescent paints. They're theming paints, and they're paints that they use in theme parks and any kind of themed environment. Very, very vivid. So this is a Forton product. So this is a polymer gypsum that you can use for outdoor applications. And you can see it's really, really thin. Inside there, it's actually glass fiber reinforced. So you can see inside that it's got maybe a ½ inch thick worth of gypsum in there, and some veil and some chopped glass fiber, so that makes it strong. So this is one of our ovens that we use for post-curing pieces and doing temperature testing on our pieces. You can see we've got a rack in here from the seminar for today. We've been putting all the pieces in this oven as we go to kind of speed up the cure time on a lot of these silicones and urethane rubbers.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sure wish I had one of those in my shop, but that's almost as big as my entire shop.
Yeah. The tank farm is interesting to me because when we were in our other facility in Easton, we had a much smaller space to work in, so all of our tanks were vertical. So to get the material into the tank and out of the tank took a lot of energy. When we moved to this facility, which is 10 times the size of what Easton was, we were able to put the tanks, first of all, above production, and secondly, horizontally, and it makes it a lot easier to get the materials out. All of these tanks contain the raw materials that we use to blend and create materials here. Whether it's a silicone, whether it's a urethane, they're all situated in these tanks. All these raw materials are automated, and they get dispensed out just like if you get soda from a soda machine. and it has those multiple sodas in one. That's the same type of PLC that these guys use.
So do you ever make swamp water? Just get a little from everyone?
No.
No. Okay.
So you can see now we can use these smaller pumps. And all of these pipes lead downstairs to production.
How many of these tanks are there?
I think we are at 40 at this point. I can do a quick count when I look at that board up there. We've been automating all of our production. Everything is tracked on these dashboards that we hand create here. We have a really, really cool IT automation team that handles all that. These tanks have heating elements on them because some of our raw materials are very high viscosity unless you heat them up. So when you raise the temperature, you can lower the viscosity and it goes through the pump a lot easier there.
You can touch it too. You don't want to.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not that hot.
Very comfortable.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've seen these cookies for so many years.
Oh my gosh, I just now realized what the cookies are.
I know,
I exactly what
I
you're
call
talking
them
about.
cured discs because I'm old.
I call them cookies because I'm fun and feel alive on the inside.
Yeah, so the thousands of cured samples that we make, sometimes people call them cookies, are made here. We make these for our distributors. We make these for customers who request them. You can always ask us for cured samples of material, and we'll send those out to you.
So the Reynolds in Kent, Washington that I go to,
Yep,
all of those cookies came from here?
absolutely.
Awesome.
So what we'll do is they'll put in a big order, and then we'll do like Maddie has that 50-piece bag, and we'll ship that out to them so they can refresh their stock.
Terrific.
But they
So you
all
have-
come from here.
So you pretty much have like one of everything in here, right? Or a bucket full of everything here.
Yep.
We try.
We try really hard. I mean, there are some things that are difficult, like spray materials and brush-on materials that are challenging to do. But the bulk of things can be molded and cast. There you go.
Anyone want some
There's
cookies?
42 cavities in these guys. That's Mold Max 30. You can see some remnants of the resin that was in there. This is 65D, right? And they're cast in the autoclave so that they have zero bubbles. And they can heat it up in there so they go really quick because obviously they need to get these things out the door as fast as they can if they're doing 1,000 of them a day. This side is actually where we take the larger size materials like those totes and drums and pack them down into the pint units. So we have kind of like material we store and then pack down into the trials, gallons, and the 5-gallon units that we sell via like retail. And then...
So we're talking the bottles up there.
Exactly. So those are gallon unit bottles, and you can see they're labeling those right now, getting ready to prep those up for pack out.
You see that? You see that conveyor belt? See that tiny conveyor belt? That's my
You
jam.
have a real issue with conveyor belts, Bill, I have to say.
Let's see what Thanos has in store for us.
Nothing. He's empty, but you'll see the mixing.
There's a man in there.
Wow.
Nothing? Oh no, a forklift.
Another forklift.
Oh man.
That looks like, a lot like the forklift I just made.
Wait till you see the rail runners.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm like looking in the, I can see, this is like,
That looks to be epoxy.
can you imagine the bread that you can make in this thing?
I don't know if I would make bread in it right now.
not right
Oh. The motors, can you imagine? Don't show Moser.
So these are your small tanks.
Yeah, that's a small test batch. Yeah. The Hockmeyers might be a test batch that we send to distributors or something like that.
And this is that's like a mixer.
Yep. Straight up mixer.
Look at that. Throughout the last couple of days, I've noticed you've pointed out that that maybe you have a client who needs a specific formulation.
Correct.
Not an off-the-shelf product, right?
Right, and we can move really quickly on special formulas for people, custom formulas. We can do smaller size batches for testing. We do have minimums. I mean, we don't want to fire up a mixer for a gallon's worth of material.
Right, yeah.
But if it's somebody who's looking for a large scale investment or some larger projects, we can definitely do that. We're kind of boutique-y that way.
Yeah, and that's what these smaller mixers will be for. That's
absolutely,
cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. What's a PLC?
The controller. The logic controller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're still setting them up for automation. They're setting up all their power supplies.
So this is all new then?
Absolutely. They just got tipped up a couple of days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it's all kind of shut off here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're expanding out past our production into some of our other areas now. Luckily, we have the space. So. This is where like a skid's worth of material will go out versus something that would be shipped via freight, like a distributor or large scale customers' orders would go via freight. These could be UPS orders or smaller. So.
But if I go to the Reynolds in Kent where I shop,
Yep.
This is where they would get their stuff from.
And these are the guys who actually put the shipments together for their stocking orders. So they'll ship a couple skids out to them on a weekly basis.
All right.
Yeah.
Close. It's almost a conveyor belt. Close enough.
Where all your trial kits?
There's all our trial kits.
I'm all right.
So this is the high bay warehouse.
Right.
Wow.
When we first moved in, we probably filled a quarter of this. And now, as you can see, we're already running out of space.
Yeah,
So,
no kidding.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Very Indiana Jones vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is where you keep pretty much all the stuff that you regularly move, right?
This is where the top men look at
Top
things.
men.
Yeah.
Your Vitaflex.
So these will be cycled out the door to our distributors or customers around the world.
There's your XTC 3D right there.
Absolutely. Skidsworth. Tarbender.
Trying to look for something I use all the time. This is the Uber forklift.
Yep.
And you said that'll go all the way to the top?
All the way to the top.
All the way to the top of these guys right here.
It follows a rail in the floor to make sure that it doesn't go off kilter. And that way it can go straight up and down. You can see the treads in there.
Look at that. Wow. I did not know this forklift technology existed.
Look how straight that is. You can see.
Yeah, it's made. It's like a special thing.
Yeah. There. I'll just take one of those. All right. I'll have to get that forklift. Look at all
Look at
these
all the
forklifts. Oh,
These are obviously all battery, except for that one that has a little prope on
little tank right there.
Yep.
Yep. That's pretty much what I modeled mine after,
Yeah.
that style. Over there, we just saw all the sort of the finished stuff, but over here is raw ingredients.
Right.
5-gallon unit.
And this is stuff that is not in as large a quantity as the tank farm and dry stuff, because we use dry stuff too.
Right, which I just learned is used to make silicone.
Absolutely.
Along with the factory here, there's also a Reynolds store, and it's one of the most extraordinary ones I've seen. Although they're all very cool. If there's one near you, you should definitely go check it out. But there's a glowing floor. There's dragons. There's Dobby. I see Gollum up there. This is a pretty inspiring place.
Yeah, it's all made by our team here. We made all the different parts of this, including this lava floor, which is a clear epoxy, Epoxicast 690. Drums and drums of material.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything here can be played with. It's terrific.
You must play with that with me.
Yeah.
You can't not touch it.
Look at this handsome gentleman right here, the onion head ghost, but you probably know him as Slimer. You said Greg sculpted this, right?
Yeah, Greg Schrantz sculpted this. Milo made the mold of it. He made a rigid mold so we could cast it in silicone. It has a dragon skin, and then what's neat about it is underneath is actually EcoFlex gel. So it's a giant gel-filled prop piece, actually. Everything on here is silicone, except these teeth are resin, and these eyes were made by Greg as well. Those are our crystal clear resin that he made those out of. These are actually life casts, I think, of Greg, but don't quote me on that. A lot of what we do is actually also theming for aquariums and zoos. We have a lot of materials which are zoo and aquarium friendly. Just gigantic installations. I mean, this is just a small portion of a whole display that would fill an aquarium. All of our stuff gets tested for use in aquariums if we recommend it. We have concrete materials that are used in theming for water parks and theme parks as well.
Of course, we have the cookies, and we saw where the cookies get made. It's one of my favorite things about visiting a Reynolds store is getting to see an example, the actual product, and then a thing you can play with to figure out if it's the right squishiness, if that's what you're going for, flexibility. And all the Reynolds stores have these. And now we know where they're made. One of my other favorite things about Reynolds stores are all of the example pieces are either from like friends or customers.
Absolutely. Customers love to bring stuff in for us to show off, and we're happy to display their work and actually kind of promote them if they're looking to get into the business.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, so it'll say, so like this helmet, let's see if I can do two things at once. This one has the person who made it in there. I can probably read that. And then all the stores have different stuff. So the Kent location where I shop has a bunch of stuff that my friends have contributed. So like Eric, Core Geek or Modulus Props, they have stuff hanging out there. In fact, I've got to pick something that I can contribute.
Absolutely,
I've been
we'd love
meaning to do that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh. We got a blaster coming in hot. Look at that.
Check out that guy.
Cool. Who made that? Does it say?
Ooh, it doesn't say, and you know, this might be just one of those pet projects that somebody does, and they'll make a casting for us to display as long as one for themselves, because you know, we like to help them along the way, and that's their kind of payback. Yeah.
That wraps it up. That was so cool. I'm a bit of a factory nerd.
Yeah, I could tell.
We play Satisfactory, you know that. So conveyor belts,
Forklifts.
they get me excited, and there's a lot of them down there, along with just some really cool tech and amazing people. Thanks so much for having me here.
It's our pleasure, definitely.
This was so much fun. Everyone here is so knowledgeable and fun and kind. I can tell that this is the kind of place that people enjoy working at. And in fact, if I didn't have a job, I'd consider it.
You're more than welcome.
That'll wrap it up from this shop. We'll be back in our shop next week. But we have a bunch more stuff we filmed here, and we'll share more of that in the future. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the members of our Extra Credit Club for supporting what we do.
Absolutely.
Got a link down below if you want to check that out. Get our videos early. I appreciate it. That'll wrap it up.
It's our
Thanks
pleasure.
again.
Yeah, it was great having you here.
Awesome.
Thanks.
We'll see you all in the next build.
See ya.
Bye. So we're finishing up here in front of the store. The dragon there was made by our pal Frank Ippolito, his team at Thingergy, and it ended up back here. But we're really out here for a bit of a demo. Jason's got a pint glass.
Yeah, this is a pint glass made out of smashed plastic, which is a breakaway plastic. It's optically clear, it's UV resistant, it acts just like real glass. It has one big difference though, it's very, very fragile. It's barely held together. So it makes it really easy to do breakaway effects.
All right.
Like this. Move over this way a little bit.
Which way?
This way.
That way? That way? All
Perfect.
right.
Ready? 3,
Why oughta-
2, 1.
That made an impressive sound.
It did. That was a good sound. Yeah, so here's the here's one of the shards.
Like a pot of it.
So that's how easy it is to just snap it. Look at that. Cool stuff. I've never got to play with this stuff before.
What is it?
It's too bad we're not having any
This
fun
one's
here.
so peer into the urn.
Peer into the urn.
The urn.
It's got some garbage in there too, which is nice.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So then if you flip those off, let's time it. Go 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. You were very, very slow. Let's try that again.
You
Try that again. Let's do it. Let's do it for real.
There you are.
Who's that?
It's this lady. It's me.
2,
Picture,
Toast.
photo.
High five, bud. That's Harrison from Volpin Props, one of our good buddies.